Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Elliot Confidential Podcast. My name is Aaron, and I'm here with Aiden and my gracious and beloved father.
Dad. How are you guys doing?
Yes, that's his name now, his dad.
I'm doing great. How about you, Dad?
I'm doing good. See,
and
that is my name, Dad.
I'm wonderful.
Yes. We're still in Paris. So that brings us to our question of the week. Because I want to show you this picture. Because we were walking along the Seine, and we saw this. This is... Check this out, guys. Aiden, you weren't with us, but Aaron was.
Thank God.
People were swimming in the Seine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a thing now.
They're going crazy, those French people.
And I found out that they spent 1.5 billion euros to clean up the Seine for the Olympics.
I heard they come out glowing green.
Now, I remember a time when I was a child and I visited Paris, we couldn't get close to the Seine because it smelled so bad. So now you can go swimming in the Seine. How about that?
Just a little bit of radiation poisoning.
Our question of the week is, what is the craziest place that you've ever gone, or most unusual place that you've ever gone swimming in your travels?
And don't say the Dead Sea. That one's played out, okay?
No.
Everyone's gone swimming in the Dead Sea.
I was thinking more of the polar plunge that people do when they go like above the Arctic Circle. They take the polar plunge. That's kind of interesting.
If you did swim in the Dead Sea, at least tell us how it tasted, because I heard it's like really salty.
Don't open your mouth. Okay, so instead of talking about Paris, I promise you we will get to Paris. We want to talk a little bit about where we were after Germany.
Yes.
Which was
Athens.
Greece.
It's
Greece. Yes.
Yeah, Greece.
And as a popular destination, even in August, when things are very, very hot.
Especially then.
Especially
then.
It's very hot, though.
It's so over-touristed. I could even say it's over-touristed that, the car rentals, they were really expensive.
Yeah.
We were spending, $800 a week for a tiny little car. It's these prices are like nothing you've probably ever seen before. And so that raises an interesting question for people who want to go to a place like Athens, which is, how can I get better deals? How can I reduce some of my costs? Which is where we begin our journey in Athens, which is actually in the suburbs.
Yeah, we wanted to save a little bit of money.
They call it the Elliot Confidential Podcast. We give away all of our secrets for travel, so we're going to give away a lot of secrets here.
Yeah, like how to save money. Because
how to save money.
When you go in the middle of the city, it's very expensive. And you go out of the city, it's less expensive. And then you have to take a train in. So is it worth it to take the train? Well, we're going to talk about that today.
You're getting ahead of yourself. All right. So where did we stay? We had two places, right?
There were two places, and we were luckily right next to a train station in each of them.
Yes.
The first one was a little suburb called Aya Paraskevi, and the other one was Kifisia.
Yes.
Now, when you think of the suburbs, you're probably thinking of a place with just lots of homes and really no facilities whatsoever. But I think that that's one thing that you might be surprised to know, that actually there are lots of really good utilities there. There are restaurants, there are grocery stores, there's a lot, really anything that you need, and it's within walking distance.
Yes.
So you don't necessarily even need to rent a car if you're staying in the suburbs.
Yes, plenty of yummy restauants. We went over to get some falafels.
Yeah,
and the falafels were surprisingly cheap. If you get gyros... Whenever you say gyros, they get offended. Gyros. However they pronounce it. I don't even freaking care.
Gyros. They're very expensive.
You go around, you get a gyro, it's like $3.50 to $4.50. It's not even that expensive at all. It's almost a meal. Sometimes they come with fries. We actually got one for $4.50 that came with fries. Super yummy.
We're becoming a food podcast
now. It also filled you up in your tummy. That was really fun.
The prices in Greece are actually quite cheap once you get past the stuff that's overconsumed by tourists.
Yes.
Which includes housing and probably also transportation, so car rentals.
I will say, if you go at the time that we went, you have to make sure that the place has air conditioning.
Oh, yeah. They all have air conditioning.
The air conditioning saved it. We were out there, it was so hot, so sweaty, so wet. And then you go back into the...
It was dry.
We were wet, I mean.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
we were sweating
wet and sweaty. And then we went back into the rental, and we could cool off, and it was awesome and fun. Yeah.
Let's start with some of the obligatory tourism shots. This is us in front of the big church downtown. Anything in this area here is going to be very expensive, all tourist prices.
Yeah.
I can't believe that I actually got the shot because it was a really busy day, and it was very crowded. And then suddenly it all cleared, and I said, guys, let's get this picture.
This is Old Town.
Yeah, this is in the Old Town.
That's in Sparta.
we're going to get to Sparta in a minute.
Yeah. We mix up the photos.
But there are some real values in town, even in the center of town. One of our favorite places here was a place called Smack. We've talked about this 3 years ago in our podcast. It's kind of a combination of Turkish pizza and regular Italian pizza.
Jeez, this really is becoming a food podcast.
I know, it's totally my fault.
Well,
here's some...
that's the hummus. Sumac.
So good.
Sumac,
so
whatever
good.
you call it.
Smack.
Very sour, and I don't even know how to describe it. It's just really good, and it's filling too, because it has a bunch of hummus on it.
Yes.
And I love sour hummus.
We stayed in a place, Blue Ground rental. We've talked about Blue Ground as well. Blue Ground offers kind of more extended stay places. We were lucky enough to be able to get this one for almost a week. And the nice thing about this is that unlike an Airbnb, all of the amenities are standardized. So we know you're going to get like a toaster and a microwave and things like that.
But also, Blue Grounds is based in Athens.
Yeah.
So they're going to have lots and lots of availability.
Of inventory.
And also a lot of availability in the suburbs. So if you want to, do a little bit extra for your vacation, if you want to do vacation in Athens, then Blue Ground is probably the place you want to go, because you can get easily a month for prices far below what Airbnb is charging for in the center of town, or even just a little bit further from the center of town. There are some choppy neighborhoods that maybe you don't want to be in, so going out to the suburbs.
Choppy neighborhoods.
Yeah, dicey.
Dicey.
Yeah,
okay, you're thinking of dicey, or no? Choppy. That's like water.
I never felt in any kind of danger there, but there were some that didn't look so good. Yeah.
Well, now that we've talked about a little bit about what's in Athens, let's talk about the train ride to Athens, because I think that's important to consider when you want to go. If you decide to go to the suburbs of Athens.
Yes, the metro
From both locations, there were different times to go into the center. The first one, it was only about 30 minutes. The other one was 45 minutes, but both of them only cost about $3.50 per person round trip.
And that's another money-saving tip, is that you don't need to take an Uber. You can just use the metro, and it's very inexpensive.
Yes, the only thing is that those metros, they're not air-conditioned, and they're quite loud, some of them.
We stayed in another place called Kafisia. That was the town that we were in. Another Blue Ground rental. Here's some pictures, and it's a little bit more upscale than the other place that we were in. A lot of kind of trendy shopping and kind of outdoor mall areas, and closer to the mountains. It's really beautiful, actually. Here's a picture of the metro where we took the metro in. And so we did that, and then we rented a car over at the airport, and we drove down to Sparta.
Yes.
Now, there's only one piece of advice that you need to know. If you really want to go down to Peloponnese or anywhere, firstly, don't avoid tolls, because the toll roads are probably the best part. Like, the toll roads, they have, firstly, a lot of facilities with free bathrooms. It is going to cost you a lot of money. You can pay with credit card, but it's definitely worth it, because you're going to save hours.
Otherwise you have to go over all the mountains.
And also the road quality for the non-toll roads is just...
Even for Kalamata, because there was a pretty direct road over to Kalamata. That's more direct than the toll roads, but you're going to die on that road.
Wow,
we went on that road, we were about to die like 4 times, all the hairpin turns. I mean, the view is great, but I mean, Jesus Christ. We were going to... I felt like we were going to die, and we were with our Uncle Pete, who was, getting up there, and we thought he was going to just drive off the road half the time. Actually, that was pretty fun. If you want an experience, don't go on the toll roads. But if you want a safe experience, then, take the toll roads.
We were in Sparta because we were there for a family reunion.
Yeah, we should have mentioned that.
Yeah, and we're part of my grandfather and your great-grandfather came from Sparta. So we came back there with all of our relatives. Here's a nice picture of not all of our relatives, some of our relatives here.
Yeah.
This is you.
I don't know why I look like a giant in this photo. I think it's because of the lens distortion. That, and also most of our family is very short.
You're a tall guy.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, you're just...
I was
it's mostly
bending
women
over
in that photo anyway. There's 3 men.
Sparta is so different from Athens. It's much quieter. There are far fewer tourists there. I don't think a lot of tourists go to Sparta.
The food's even cheaper too.
The food is cheap, but it's worth going down there because they have so much history.
Yeah.
We went to see the Acropolis of Sparta, and they have the big statue of the guy who's the Spartan warrior.
We need
Do we have a picture of the giant plate of gyro that I had?
Yeah, I have a plate of you eating it.
Well, that was crazy. Was like it was.
Let's talk about food.
nine euros for that giant, massive plate that I could never finish.
Let's talk about food. Because I think
let's go there.
Greek food is something that you don't want to miss.
Greek food is awesome.
Yes.
So, Aaron, please take us through these, because you took some really good food shots. So take us through these.
Yeah, these look
firstly,
good.
that's not my food shot.
I was like, that looks like a stock photo.
It's a stock photo.
Okay, so but that's the cookie that we ate, though.
I have other pictures of that.
Greeks love really sweet pastry cookie things. A Greek bakery is not something to laugh at because although it is not French or German, it's something completely different. Yeah. These are pastries and goods that you're meant to eat with something else. So, for example, the desserts, you're supposed to eat that or drink. Yeah, you're supposed to drink it, eat it with coffee.
It's you have to. It's like a beignet, like when they have a bunch of powdered sugar on top.
The sugary ones. Oh, I love those. They're like made with almonds and walnuts.
So the sugary ones, the ones with powdered sugar, are called kurabieres. Now, and the one that you're looking at right now is the melomakarona, which is a honey macaroon, basically. And those are our favorites.
That one had a more caramelly, the honey one.
We were eating those nonstop. Let's give the folks back home a little bit of Greek food advice. So
pace yourself. Pace yourself.
It's considered impolite to say no to food in Greece. So when someone offers you food, you accept it. You want to factor that into, when you're visiting Greece, you want to factor that into your daily menu because people will offer you food and you're going to want to say yes to it. Definitely pace yourself. The biggest meal of the day is dinner, right?
Yes.
Everyone is.
Dinner starts at around 11 p.m.
Yes. And it never ends.
Yes. It's the Mediterranean.
Yeah. And the food just keeps coming. In fact, we were at an Egyptian restaurant in Paris today, totally off topic, and he said, if you leave my restaurant and you're not full, it's considered offensive.
Hey, that's for the next podcast.
We're
getting ahead of ourselves.
But I said to you guys, that's actually not just...
It's Mediterranean.
It's Mediterranean. It's not just Egyptian.
The whole area.
If you leave a Greek restaurant and you're still hungry, it's considered rude. So the portion sizes are unbelievably big.
Yes. How many pounds did they say the pork gyros were?
How many pounds?
I don't know. I think they had it in pounds.
Probably was a kilo at least.
Yeah, it was.
Which is 2 pounds.
It's ridiculous.
One more piece of advice is Greek grocery stores are all closed on Sunday.
Yes.
So if you think that you're going to go to Greece, like fly in on a Saturday and then go to a grocery store and pick something up, you're not going to. Let's show a few more pictures of Sparta. This is the view. This is not the view from our rental. This is actually from the Acropolis, which is not a lot of people going to the Acropolis. Not a lot of tourists there. So again, some advice if you are going to go to Greece, you can go to these lesser known destinations and you can have them all to yourself. We did.
Yeah, the views are incredible.
The
mountains are a lot taller than you would imagine, and you still have all these Roman ruins.
This is the theater. Here.
Yeah.
They're excavating the theater, and it is an ancient Greek theater from about 200 BC. Really old.
And you can even see the little blocks that still have all the text in ancient Greek on it, and it's so cool to read.
Which no one can read.
And we were with Paula, who was guiding us, our cousin. And she put together the family reunion, and she actually could read a couple of the signs on there, and I thought that was so cool that, it's the same writing system, but it's just a totally different ancient language, but you can still kind of like see how it was pronounced a little bit. I just thought that was so cool, because she just went up to this block, this ancient Roman block, that looked like, like hieroglyphs or something, to me at least. And she was like, oh yeah, this is pronounced like this, and I think that one's pronounced like that. I was like, this is so cool. This is history, and you can even touch it too.
This is our, I have to show this to you. This is our church in Amicles, our ancestral church. And if you go in the back, there's a graveyard with all of our relatives right
and their
there.
Bones too. You can touch their bones.
Yes,
we didn't touch the bones, but you can if you want to, if they're your relative. And also there's a bell at the top of the church that my great-grandfather and his grandfather donated to them. Funny enough, the guy never went back to Greece. He left Greece, went to the US, never bothered to go back, didn't even bother to see his own bell, but he bought the bell for them. So
here's a picture of you, Ivan, with Uncle Dustin. hanging out in Sparta on a day when it was a little bit cooler. Was it Sparta a really fun place to hang out? What did you think, Aaron?
I like Sparta. Honestly, I think I would have liked to have spent more time in the mountains. I would have liked to also, there were certain Greek foods that I would have liked to try more of. I think the one thing that I realized when I was there is that Sparta is a huge agricultural center. They have lots of olives. They have lots of oranges. They have lots of nuts. I don't know if necessarily from Sparta, but I got a chance to try roasted almonds from Greece at the grocery store. And they were like unlike anything I'd ever tried before. So, and then also, there are tons of beans that you're only going to see really in Greece. For example, fava. You'd be surprised with all of the different dishes that they make with different kinds of beans. You've got the enormous beans, which they call gigantes, which is funny, they're giant beans.
That sounds exactly like Latin. Gigantes?
Gigantes. I think it's gigantes.
Oh, it's almost like the languages have a history of intermingling.
Yeah. So in any case, I would have really liked to see more of the vegetarian Greek cuisine myself, and I would have liked to try more of the produce because that's what they're known for there down in Sparta.
Yeah. One thing I don't want to try, though, again, is the frickin' Greek coffee. Ugh.
Oh, okay, yeah. Here's a picture of the Greek coffee. But I have to explain, we already alluded to this earlier, I didn't get it sweetened. If I'd gotten it sweetened, it would taste different. But,
it might.
But it is very thick, and it has the ground at the bottom.
Coffee grounds in it.
Like the Turkish coffee.
That's awful.
But, here's another picture of them making these delicious cookies.
Yeah, those things aren't going to save that. I had it with regular coffee.
Eat the cookie, and then you drink the coffee. That's how you do it. It's really very
good. Those didn't save it for me. I can't have Greek coffee. The grounds, the graininess in your mouth, I can't stand it. It's awful. Sorry. I know I'm fake Greek right now. I'm supposed to be son of Greece, but I can't handle the Greek coffee.
One last excursion before we left Greece was we went out to Kalamata. Kalamata is famous, of course, for its olives. The Kalamata olives.
They also have a beach.
But they have a beach there. Mm-hmm. Yes.
And it's a lot more beautiful than the Athens beach. There's no industry, and it's not awfully polluted. It's actually quite a beautiful beach. If you want to go to a beach in Greece, I think Kalamata is a much better option than Athens.
We went there at the peak of tourist season. So we were there in mid-August to late August.
And it wasn't even that bad. It wasn't even over touristy in Kalamata.
You can see there are not a lot of people there. So
it was great.
Again, if you're looking for something a little bit off the beaten path, this might be a really good option.
And if you like olives, too.
Almost every day we went and picked up some kind of Greek pastry or Greek cookies. Aaron, here's you with your trove of... Can you tell us what you have here in this picture?
I honestly don't know. I know that those are kurabias and those are melomakarona, and then there's some sort of carob cookie. So carob is a type of bean that they extract the syrup from, and they use that for sweetening things. That's all you really need to know. Carob it's like a sugar substitute. It's like molasses. Think of it that way. So they're like molasses cookies, basically.
And last but not least, because we went to Sparta, here's the picture of the Spartan warrior.
Yeah, they got a lot of statues of hot guys around there.
This guy was, and anyway.
Look at those muscles. That's really defining. He must have not drank water for a couple days before that. Anyway, well, let's read your comments from last podcast. Let's see the interesting comments from everyone that they left.
In our last podcast, we were in Eastern Germany. We actually got a couple of comments off the record from people who said, we're really sorry you didn't like Eastern Germany. In fact, I don't think we actually said we didn't like Eastern Germany. We said something like it wasn't Western Germany, but it was...
No, all we said was Western Germany is better. Not that Eastern Germany is bad. Eastern Germany is just fine.
There were parts
but Western Germany, they just...
There are parts of Eastern Germany that we like more than other parts, but I think that you can say that for almost anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
And I even said I would go back to Berlin. I love Berlin. Mm-hmm. Our question of the week, though, was worst flies ever.
Worst bugs.
Yeah. Worst bugs ever.
Bites. We still have our bug bites from last podcast. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. They're still here. So... we asked you what for your stories about the worst bugs when you were traveling, and we got a lot of comments on that.
And for context, this is because we got really bitten up last podcast in our last apartment. For some reason, there were just a bunch of insects there.
I figured out why. They had there was a gutter and it was clogged up, so the rain had collected and the mosquitoes were nesting right below our window.
Wow.
So they all came in through our window.
That's awful. That's like Hunger Games level. You know what I'm talking about in Hunger Games? You don't know the scene? They'll know what I'm talking about.
Dorothy says her worst bug experience was in Egypt. The flies were awful. It was worse than India, Borneo, rainforest, worse than anywhere. I was practically bathing in strong insect repellent each day. Hey.
Oh, I feel you.
I know what that's like.
We had to put on so much insect repellent and it smells awful. That was the only way to fend them off, you know? I had to keep them at bay.
Well, Judith writes, Hawaii, flying 3-inch cockroaches. The Big Thicket National Reserve in East Texas. Clouds of mosquitoes. North Padre Island on the Texas Gulf Coast. So many mosquitoes we didn't dare open the car windows driving through, and they were big.
Wow,
that's a long list there.
This lady's well traveled. Jeez, wow.
Yeah, well,
that's really cool.
She travels with the bugs.
Okay, that's funny.
Oh boy.
Oh, here, let me do one. Sheila says Tahiti. Rooms are open air, and the bugs like to share your bed.
Oh, that's not good.
That's...
and boys, we are headed to the South Pacific soon, so we better bring the bug repellent with us.
Yeah, and if there's no AC, then you probably are going to be fully exposed, because you're not going to want anything on you while it's like, I don't know, 70 degrees, 75 degrees.
Oh, yeah,
that's when they come into feast.
Oh, yeah.
Marty and Pete says, White Mountains in Arizona. We went glamping, which is like going on a permanent tent structure and staying there, and it was full of hundreds of ants. The property manager came to spray them thinking that'd work, but we got a refund on the spot.
Oh, nice.
Hey, you guys are reading my other website, la.org, where I tell you how to get a refund for things like that. Yes.
Well, Diane writes, Cuba in high summer, when all the flying insects were joined by many fleas on the dozens of unclaimed dogs and cats rubbing against us while we ate at the outdoor cafes.
Oh, no.
I had 60 bites one night when I counted as I rubbed on calamine lotion.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
When we were in Greece, we fed the cats, and they were so cute, and we didn't get bug bites. So
the friendliest cats that were in Turkey and Cyprus.
Yep. Maybe go to Greece next time. Sorry, I'm partial because I'm Greek. Okay, Kathy says, hands down, the buggiest place we ever went was the Amazon River. Bugs the size of dinner plates bulk up on the windows, trying to desperately get to you.
The size
of... Oh God, this sounds like a
plates?
horror movie. This sounds like Alien Invasion.
It's terrible. Well, it's like that TV show about aliens coming to Earth.
Oh my God.
Last but not least, Judy says, most annoying were the cedar gnats, also called no-see-ums, in southern Utah and northern Arizona. Hey, Arizona's doing pretty well here. They're usually only around for about 6 weeks, but if you scratch a bite, it will itch for days and weeks. Not the biggest or probably the baddest. She says, I've survived MN, which I assume is Minnesota mosquitoes, were really annoying. I thought that the worst mosquitoes were in Alaska. They're the state bird of Alaska.
Yeah. Well, I haven't experienced bad mosquitoes in Alaska. I mean, I think the worst mosquitoes I experienced was this one time when we were in Olympia National Forest. One day, it was a heat wave. We went up a mountain, and the bugs were like chasing me.
They were following you.
There was one racing around my head like it was a NASCAR route. It was crazy.
Wait, Olympia National Forest, is that near Olympia, Washington?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yes,
yeah, stay away from that whole area.
Okay.
Sorry. Well, we had a horrible experience. We went to Olympia once, and we were like, never.
Oh, yeah, that place reminds me of Brazil.
Okay, all right.
That's a good comparison.
We will be in Paris again next week, and this time we will tell you more about our most recent adventures in Paris. We're really looking forward to it. We've been saving up all of our information, taking pictures, and we can't wait to share everything with you in our next podcast. Don't forget to tune in, but also don't forget our question of the week, which is, what is the strangest place that you've ever been swimming in? We would love to know. Whether it's the taking the polar plunge or swimming in, I don't know, the thermal baths in Germany or wherever. There's plenty of weird places to go swimming. Yeah. So let us know.
Leave your comments down below.
And we'll see you next week.
Let us know.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ciao. Tschüss.
Bye.